What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 1 of the I'm Possible podcast. I'm your host, Joey Horniak, and this is episode 1. The goal with all of this is to really discover and go in depth and find people with real stories where they conquered adversity. And I'm joined here with my really good friend. I know he's super busy and has a very hectic schedule, so I'm really grateful that you took the time to join me on episode 1. So his name is Jordan Medeiros. You guys might have seen him if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, in my stories. So yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast, Jordan.
Thank you for inviting me. Just came back from Hollywood.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, filming a huge movie with Bruce Willis right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Wow, I wasn't too sure.
Yeah. So I gave you a couple minutes in my schedule to come here and film this.
Thanks, I really appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime for you. Anything for you.
$50K just to book him, guys.
Yeah. God. Thank God I waived that fee off.
Thank God, yeah. Or else no more podcast already after episode 1. But yeah, Jordan has a very unique story. You guys might have seen it, but just with what he kind of is battling, just with what I've learned throughout the months, it's been really a touching story just for me, a lot of people, and the main thing is also to kind of get a bit more reach and exposure with his story and what he has, and it's going to be a fun podcast too, not just about that, but to really share some good energy. And so when you were born, if this is right, when you were born, say the story. I'm going to let you do it because you know it better, obviously. So you go ahead and take it off, and we'll go from there.
All right. So basically, when I was born, about 6 months into my life, my parents realized I wasn't gaining any weight. I was still a little baby, right? So I would just be pooping every day so much, and they would be really worried, asking the doctor, what's happening. He's not gaining any weight. He's not feeling well. He's always sick. So they went to the doctors, and the doctors told them, well, I had cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis, not cystic. So yeah, so basically it's about 6 months into my life is when I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis.
Okay, so for the people who don't know cystic fibrosis, which is a lot of people probably watching this and listening to it probably maybe heard it, but don't know what it is. So what is it? Like, kind of sum it up a bit, what it is, and just the whole thing of it.
All right, so cystic fibrosis is a disease that attacks both the lungs and the digestive system. The mucus in my lungs stops my lungs from letting me breathe as well as you guys, and basically just shuts down my lungs after a little while. So, I was always told, if you want to try breathing like me, try breathing through a straw every day. If you want to feel how that, like what I'm dealing with every day, basically. What's happening more with the digestive system is my digestive system, my pancreas and all that isn't absorbing the enzymes as much as they should. It's not absorbing anything at all, actually. So every day I take about, I'd say, 44 pills a day just to, keep my weight up, to digest every enzyme, every vitamin I need and all that.
To break down the foods and everything that goes into
Yeah,
the system.
exactly. Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 24.
24. And so since you're 6 months, you were diagnosed when you were 6 months?
Yeah.
Old?
Exactly, yeah.
And 24. So you've been living pretty much like your whole life with this.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you do take a lot of pills. What are some of the treatments you do? Like, I know you do some treatments at home, even on vacation. If people don't know, kind of just gonna cut this off, but we traveled to Thailand together last year now. In what was it, April? In April, we went there for 32 days, and the main goal was to go film like a little kind of documentary about Jordan and just the whole traveling experience and dealing with cystic fibrosis and still being able to stay positive, do his treatments there, and So yeah, so I was able to witness, you know, everything that he was doing on a daily basis. I was filming it also. So yeah, along with your pills, you do take treatments at home.
Yeah.
And what are those like treatments?
So basically, every day I have about, I'd say, 45 minutes of treatments to do, morning and night. So I wake up in the morning. Let's say I'm going to work. I usually start work at 7, so I got to wake up around 5 o'clock. I wake up around 5 o'clock, do my treatments, which is like a PEP mask. So it's basically just me blowing into a mask for about 20 minutes to get my lungs, you know, activated for the day, ready to conquer the day and be able to breathe properly. And at night, I do the same treatment, but I also do a nebulizer, which basically secretes the mucus. So it breaks down the mucus into, you know, more of a liquid form in order for me to, you know, cough the mucus out and be able to breathe better than the day after.
Wow. Yeah, it's probably not easy. And the thing of just saying like to people like, you know, that don't have cystic fibrosis, saying to breathe through a straw is like, I can't even imagine that. Just like working out, going for runs, hikes, probably even just sleeping. Because I know you told me things about like even when you sleep, it affects probably like when you sleep.
Yeah.
And then antibiotics, and then if you get a cold or something when the seasons change or whatever, it's probably must not be easy to.
No, it's not easy, but you live with it and you learn and you try to beat it as hard as you can.
What yeah. What
It sounds wrong, but
yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say.
we're trying to hold back to not laugh just because we've been talking not while it was recording, and we're just saying jokes and stuff, so we're trying to hold back not to laugh. So if you're wondering why we're always smiling and not trying to laugh, that's the reason why. But yeah, with all this like sleep, working out, because you do work out, I could tell, you know, just look at you in your shirt.
It's been 3 weeks I haven't been to the gym, but
yeah. You know, yeah, with like sleep, working out, being active, and like you said, you know, you need to deal with it and kind of use it as like your friend in a way. What do you do anything, or did you do anything like in your life since, you know, you were diagnosed with that? Was there anything that you did specifically to kind of give you a more of like a motivation or a boost? Because a lot of people that I know, like not personally, that have cystic fibrosis at your age are probably not as healthy as you either. Like even like 30 years old, it's not that far from your age either, but
wow.
Like there's a lot
calling me
but there's a lot of people with cystic fibrosis that don't necessarily always keep a healthy lifestyle, and that plays a big, you know, role. And I know you try to do your best to keep a healthy lifestyle and stay positive, but is there anything in specific that, you know, either someone with cystic fibrosis, another disease, or someone with no disease, just, you know, looking for like maybe a boost or something, is there anything that you did or that you took as a motivation to help you kind of go through each day? I know that, you know, in high school and growing up, you know, you were small and you were kind of bullied and kind of like pushed aside. So I know that probably had an like kind of a positive effect in a way in your life to where you're at now and how to conquer each day and stuff. So what do you think is like that thing that kind of stood out that you were kind of using, or was there anything?
You got to go day by day. You got to live every day like it's your last. That's what I've been doing for the past, gotta say, 8 to 10 years. You know, I've been getting up every morning and living my day like I've never lived it before or something, you know, just taking in every single moment of it, because you never know. Life is so precious. You never know when you're going to lose at life. You know, life is not a game, like they say, basically, you know, so you got to just live every day like it's your last, really live your life to the fullest. You know, that's why I travel a lot. I love traveling. Traveling always gives me, you know, a sense of freedom. You know, I don't do as much treatments on vacation because I can live, you know, on vacation. I don't have to do those treatments because for the past other 11 months that I'm not on vacation, I'm at home doing my treatments, going to the gym, you know, working out, working. I work, you know, I work about 40 hours a week, but almost every week now for the past 3 to 4 months, I've been working overtime almost every day, you know, just to save money to travel really as much as I can, because traveling is definitely what helps me live my life to the fullest.
Yeah, and it's also like you told me also that it's like one of your, you know, top goals up there, because it makes you feel like just freedom.
Exactly.
Makes you feel good, positive. You're always in a healthy like state of mind. So I know you told me like traveling is a huge goal. Is there any place, if you were to choose, if you didn't go up to now? I know Thailand, Asia, that part was a place that you wanted to go. Is there any place in specific that you want to visit?
Too many. Honestly, there's too many, but I can't even say there's actually too many, you know. Like, I'd love to finish out Asia. I'd love to go to Bali. I'd love to go, you know, Vietnam, all around even the Philippines, all
Portugal.
Portugal, yeah. Well, Portugal's in Europe.
Yeah, I know.
So, but yeah, definitely Portugal, because my dad was born in Portugal.
That's why.
Also. Italy's beautiful, so I'd love to go to Italy since my grandparents are from there also.
I didn't know.
So, you know, I got lots of European blood, but I'm, you know, white as snow for some reason, you know. But definitely would love to travel Europe and Asia, finish out Asia first, and then move to Europe, you know, during summertime.
Nice. Yeah, our Thailand trip was something else. Was so
Crazy.
cool, and it's
Think
crazy
about
because
it every day.
Oh god, and it's crazy because like, you know, two good friends, we went there and we didn't really get into like arguments or nothing, so it was kind of
Let's be honest though, the only argument we got into was the name of a beach, and we were both
and it was
wrong.
The same one.
We were both wrong.
We were both wrong, but besides that, it went really good, and it's kind of, you know, it's not easy either, you know, that time period, and to totally be on the opposite side of the world. You know, traveling with someone, and it went very well, and it opened both our eyes also, and we got to work on a project together, and at the same time kind of really enjoyed that whole traveling experience. I've never really did a trip like that ever. You know,
Neither have I.
Yeah.
First time I left, you know, anywhere close to my house for a month and a week, you know.
Yeah, that's so that big. That was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, traveling is at the top of your list in terms of like goals and, you know, something that you really want to do. So just backtrack to before what I was saying. Yeah, I know you had told me bits and parts like in high school and growing up. We only met each other in high school, and it's going to be a pretty long time we know each other. It goes back to when, like,
it's gotta be like a year after high school.
A year, yeah. So
it's when I messaged you for a workout plan, actually.
Yeah. So Jordan messaged me, pretty much for help for like starting at the gym, and that was like a year after high school.
Yeah.
And we weren't like really friends, or we didn't really talk or anything in high school. We were both like small and all that. And I guess kind of dealing with the same type of atmosphere in terms of like people and just the whole like, I don't know,
pressure.
It's
the environment,
the environment, the pressure, the quote unquote bullying type world. So yeah, he messaged me. We met up at a gym, and then from there, I actually did the workout with you.
Yeah,
we did the workout together, and then from there, that's where it just went off, and then we became friends. We worked out, and yeah, and just bonded. So yeah, about like high school or even elementary, because I don't know anything about like the elementary. I know it's early and stuff, but you got like pressured, bullied, or felt like that, and it must have not been easy, especially with having cystic fibrosis. Did the people in your environment know that you had cystic fibrosis, and was that ever like a type of issue or something that they were using to even put more pressure on you or to kind of bug you more?
So elementary school, I was always like the bigger kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly, I was always the bigger kid in elementary school. So, you know, I would always make friends, and, you know, I wouldn't be the bully around the elementary school. But if I see someone bullying someone, I'd be like, hey, you know, back off, you know. But then when I moved to high school, that's when, you know, it was like a big slap in the face. You know, everybody was starting to get taller than me, bigger than me, and especially like the Sec 4 and 5s, you know, they would always think they're tough, picking on, you know, little kids and stuff.
And it just made them feel like, I know a lot of people do that, or did that because it makes them feel
Tough,
higher or
yeah.
tougher or
But
more on a pedestal. So
yeah, but definitely not. Definitely that, you're picking on somebody that's twice, the size that you are right now, so you definitely should not do that. It's definitely not a cool thing to
no.
do. But no, nobody ever really knew I had cystic, uh, except for my close friends, especially in high school. So I would always, hang around with the bigger kids, especially in Sec 4 and 5. I always had the same gang of friends, which I still
Yeah.
speak to this day
That's cool.
in high school. So I would always hang out with them, and if anything would go wrong, they would always have my back. But yeah, I was still definitely bullied, especially in gym class. Sec 2 and 3, actually Sec 1, 2, 3. I had a tube
Which
in
is
my
grade
stomach.
7, 8, and 9 for people who don't know,
Yeah.
like the secondary stuff, just the schooling system. Grade 7, 8, 9 is Sec 1, 2, 3, and then
4 and 5,
4, 5
10,
is 10,
11.
11.
Yeah. So basically, I had a tube in my stomach that would feed me at night because I wasn't absorbing enough nutrients. So, it was like a white tube. And like when I would take my shirt off, people would be like, why do you have an eraser in your stomach? And, stuff like that. And I'd just be like, that's really your
Wow.
insult, an eraser in my stomach. And it wouldn't affect me as much when I was in Sec 3. But when I was younger, like Sec 1 and 2, that's when I was like, people are really making fun of me for like
Wow.
a disease that I never chose to have, So it was tougher for me when I was younger. But growing up, I would take it and I'd be like, yeah, I'm better than these guys, I'm better. I'm gonna be
100%.
better. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be better in my life. This is gonna help me push through it. This is gonna help me push and better myself, and
What-
it did.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you, for people who are kind of in that situation that you were, not necessarily with cystic, what would you kind of give them as a tip to go through that? Because not a lot of people like you could kind of go through it, in a positive way throughout high school or finish off their years like good without anything kind of bad happening. What would be that? What is one thing that you could kind of tell those people that are probably listening or watching this eventually? What can you tell them, one day if they're dealing with the same type of stuff? Because especially like you said, like gym class, because you're changing, everyone's in the changing room, you're taking your top off and stuff. It's more, there's a lot more insecurities in that type of environment. So what is one thing that you could
You gotta keep your head up. Always keep your head up. Keep pushing to be a better person. Because those people, the people who bully you, the people who push you around, the people who make fun of you, is not, trust me, nowadays, 7 years after high school, I look at those people back in the days. Where are they now? Nowhere near me. Nowhere near where I am right now. So got to keep your head up and keep pushing through all of it. Yeah, it's tough. High school's tough. Yeah, you're gonna get through it. Once you get through it, you'll see it was worth it.
It's crazy because there's a lot of people like in school, in just the schooling system, especially like even in high school, like it's still a very young age just to get bullied or pressured or whatnot. Did you play sports growing up?
Yeah, I played baseball and soccer.
And until what age?
I played
Or
baseball
what ages?
until 16, soccer until 14. So basically, I wanted to concentrate more on baseball because I was better at it. I was making, the double letters and all that in my town. The only problem is my town wasn't very, very good at baseball, so almost every year I would win like a MVP award and all that. But, it's because I was the better kid on my team, but
you won MVP.
my
really?
team sucked. I should have brought you my trophies. I should have showed you my trophies. But yeah, all that to say, I concentrated on baseball. I wanted to play hockey when I was younger. I wanted to be a goaltender, but the doctors told me I couldn't because I had a tube in my stomach.
Really?
So basically, yeah. So if I would get older and like get like a slap shot in my stomach or something, it could be dangerous. So I couldn't play hockey because of that.
Wow.
I wanted to play football also, same thing, couldn't because of the tube or couldn't because of my size or.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
And today, like that whole like tube thing or what it was, helping you with, that's all fixed, or they found something new to
It's gone,
replace
yeah.
it?
It's basically because when I was younger, so I have enzymes, right? So it's
Yep.
like pills I take every time I eat. And when I was younger, I was shy to take them in front of people because I was scared people would be like, "Oh, what is that? Why are you
Taking
taking pills?
pills
What is that? What is that?" So sometimes I wouldn't take them. And if I don't take them, I don't gain weight. I don't absorb the nutrients from the meal I ate or from the snack I ate or whatnot. So I always thought, I'm not going to take them. People will make fun of me. So I wouldn't gain weight. So when I went to the doctors, they were like, listen, you're not gaining any weight. You got to do something for yourself, or else we're going to have to put a tube inside you. Wow. So they put a tube inside me because I wasn't taking my pills, because I was scared to take my pills
in front of people,
to receive backlash from people, saying like, oh, what is that? What a loser taking pills,
Wow.
Yeah.
And
that's what society does to you.
It does, yeah. And at the same time, like, it's kind of oddly like good in a way for your situation, because I think it really goes to build a solid foundation in you to deal with things that you're probably going to deal with later on, in terms of who knows what, like work, I don't know, travel, whatever it is. So it in a positive branch of it all, it kind of gives you, these strong tools to have with you forever, and that you're able to share with other people that are probably going through the same thing. So I think, in a way, it's kind of oddly good. But yeah, it's society, like there's a lot of people, and that's why I asked you about sports, is because just me on my side, I didn't go through that as much in school. It went more with sports, and sports I was super, super intimidated, and that pressure. I remember crying after certain like tryouts and practices, and because I was super small, and I remember moving and then going to like a tryout for like a super high level team, and I didn't know no one, and they all knew each other, and then I got in there and like they were twice my size, and I was like, oh crap, like
what am I doing?
And then I left, and I had so much anxiety built up in me, and then I was like, what are they thinking of me? But I think, again, on the other side, now that I'm older and that you're older, we're both able to look back on certain situations like that and be like, there's positive in there. So that's why I asked you about sports. And so now you don't play sports anymore, right?
No, I try to. So basically during the winter, I've played some flag football, played some soccer in the past years.
Nothing competitive.
Nothing competitive. No, it's hard to get back into it, like after, it's going to be like 8 years now, I haven't played baseball competitively. So it's hard to get back into a league and be like, hey, I'm here to play.
Hey, what's
and
up?
Finally, the pitcher throws me the ball. I'm like, oh, God,
yeah.
I haven't done this in a long time, So it's definitely hard to get back into it. So if I could give a tip to everyone, if you're playing a professional sport, or if you're going to play a professional sport, just keep playing, keep on going, because you're going to regret it when you get older. I miss playing sports. I love playing sports. I miss it so much.
But see, at least, I'm especially competitively.
Yeah,
I stopped playing also. So
there's always that little thing, you have with your friends on the team and all that. There's always that
bond, that energy, that chemistry. But yeah, didn't we play like ball hockey together or something?
We did.
We played a bit. So yeah, you do. It's crazy because you're still able to get up and. Yeah, you're still able to wake up in the morning and go work out, go for runs. You're still able to do that, especially having cystic, and especially that it's your digestive and respiratory system, like that must not be easy to like work out, because people with no cystic or barrier on their respiratory system or whatever, some of them don't even work out or have a hard time going. So or whatever it is, I remember you texting me saying like, wow, like I'm killing it. I just did like a 5K, 7K, or you bought your mountain bike. So you do stay active, and I think is that an important aspect.
Definitely. Yeah. Even, I just bought skis this week again. I sold my skis last year. I've been skiing for about 8.5 years now. Love it. It just feels going down the hills, even like sometimes I'll do some jumps and whatnot, just the feeling that you get, you're free, you're just living it. And then you get home, after a big day of skiing or whatnot, I go shower, go in my bed, and I'm just breathing so well. I'm just, free, breathing freely, no coughing, no troubles breathing, and that just feels good. And that's why I stay active every day. That's why I go to the gym or whatnot, which once again I haven't been to in a while because I've been working a lot. But You know, it's back. It's a New Year's resolution
Yes.
that I'm actually going to keep, you know. Not some like some of you out there, you know.
Yeah, it's especially in New Year's and that first month of the year, you know, a lot of people start off, but then February, the gyms are empty or, you know, whatever you had planned, whether it's workout or projects or hobbies or whatever, that's all like pushed aside and kind of not even there anymore.
Some people say they don't have time for it. You got to make time for it. You know, it's like you go 30 minutes. If you have 30 minutes, go for 30 minutes, go for 45 minutes. And then you're going to feel so good, so proud of yourself, you know. Even after a month, you're going to see so much difference in your body, you know, in the way you're breathing, in the way you look, in the way, you know, which is a big thing nowadays in the world,
especially with social media, Instagram, Facebook.
You gotta look good, you know.
Well, I mean, like again, like it's the same type of structure. A lot of people put energy on, you know, what the outside world or this person think of me. What does this person or these people think of me? You know, do I look well for whatever it is? When you like sleep and stuff like that, I know it does play an effect on you, like on your body. Just the thing with all breathing and energy and how much calories and all that. So what is it like just waking up in the morning or when you wake up, like what do you feel? Because I know some days are probably better than the other, which is normal. But some days when it really gets like low and tough and all that, what are you feeling like? Kind of describe that feeling so that they could understand like just what it is. So
basically I could wake up, you know, after basically 12 hours of sleep and just want to go back to bed, you know, and sleep. I could sleep for another 4 or 5 hours easy and get up again. And let's go back to bed. You know, my body's just not having it today. You know, and then I'll get up and I'll feel extremely weak. My bones are going to hurt. So what I like to do is take a hot shower.
Sit in the shower.
I love sitting in the shower. I know some of you out there are like me, but sitting in the shower is amazing. You know, I like to put on some music. I like to close one of my lights, you know, just keep one light open, put some music and sit in the shower and just let the water fall on me and reflect. You know, I like to reflect on life.
But it's funny, but at the same time, I was about to ask you, do you do any like certain thing to kind of unplug or to get your mind off? And oddly enough, that's the thing, right?
Yeah. I don't take baths. You'll never see me take a bath. But I will sit in my shower at least once every 2 weeks for 45 minutes straight, listening to music and just thinking of
whatever.
What am I gonna do? Where am I going? What am I gonna do next week? You know, what do I want to do? Projects I'm working on, goals I want to achieve. You know, that's what I do. That's my sit back, relax, and love doing that.
So back on the sleeping. The reason why is because your body uses it uses so much energy on breathing, right? Exactly, that it uses so many calories. I have no more
energy left. Yeah. So basically, I could eat like 2 Big Macs before going to bed, and I wake up and no more Big Macs inside my body. All those calories are burnt from just sleeping and breathing. You know,
because it's
tough. Yeah, because it's tough for me to breathe,
and it's craving for like oxygen while you sleep, right? Yeah.
So I'm just breathing, and it's burning calories.
Wow.
Which is cool for some people, but you know, when you're trying to gain weight, trying to gain muscle, it's hard to gain muscle, honestly, you know, without
just weight in general.
Yeah, right? Just weight in general. You know, I've always been between like 140 and 150 pounds. Last summer I hit my peak, which was like 156, and then I was so happy about that, but then I got sick, you know, 2 weeks later, and boom, right back down to 145. You know, my weight just varies so much, and it's always hard to keep, you know, the gains from the gym or the gains from the eating, or you know, but I keep going at it anyways, you know, because one day it's going to get better.
It is, yeah.
And science and technologies, you know, advancing so fast nowadays, you never know. You know, we're all praying, we're all have our fingers crossed that one day I could say, you know.
Yeah, because and the just with all this is the fact that for some of you that don't know is that there's no cure. They didn't find a cure, right?
Not yet.
Okay, so there's no cure yet for cystic fibrosis. So, you know, it's a big thing, and just me learning from it we're part of this like foundation. That was the project that was linked up with us for the Thailand trip. Just learning everything and getting, you know, all the detail and going in depth with all of it. I was able to learn also me. So I highly just urge you guys to really understand what this is, how important it is to help, you know, just the whole cystic fibrosis disease. There's no cure. And, you know, like you said, those science and technology and just all that is so advanced that one day we cross our fingers that there will be something. But it's like you said, it's super important to stay healthy, especially with that. Stay active, eat, you know, well and a lot too, because I imagine a lot of people don't
do your treatments, take your pills, you know, F society and just
you could
keep
say
doing fuck society and keep doing you, you know.
There's no beep, it's fine.
Just keep doing you know, take your pills, do your things, do your treatments, you know, fuck what everyone thinks about you, you know. Do you. That's what's important, you know. Do you.
Yeah.
Even. You know?
10%, Joey 10.
Jordan 10.
But yeah, it's something that, you know, I'm gonna kind of keep beside me for like the rest of my life. Now that I know about it now, you know, especially if you have a platform, I think it's super important to share these things and get it out there. Because you don't know, you know, you have a best friend, family member. Is this only like, could someone over like 20 end up like getting cystic fibrosis, or is it's genetic, right?
Yeah, it's genetic. Yeah.
So yeah, like I highly just suggest to like push this out and share it. It's super important, especially if you have a platform. What are 3 things you're most grateful for today?
My family, my friends, and
me.
Well, you're part of my friends, so yeah. So
yeah, family, friends,
and myself, because I'm happy where I am right now in life. I'm happy with what I'm doing. You know, I have lots of goals, lots of plans for the future. You know, I'm 24. I'm not old. I still got lots of time to go. So, you know, I got lots of plans with you also. You know, we're working on a couple things, which a video also, cystic fibrosis, coming out in a few months, you know, which is going to be really cool. It's a project we've been working on for a really long time.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that like we have that idea, and then we were able to travel together and expand even more that idea to like make it even bigger. We could even share it, talk about it. No,
we could talk about it. Yeah, we could just mention what it's about, you know.
So yeah, we did that whole like video for Jordan, affiliated with a Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We did that last year in April for 32 days in Thailand. So we filmed all that. We presented this video to kind of go get more reach and more attention through people. We presented this video at their foundation's supper, like 20th anniversary,
25th, 20 something.
Yeah, 20th, I think, anniversary dinner supper, and it was their event. So we were fortunate enough to present that video. And just with the response that, you know, we got, that Jordan got, that just the video, how the video impacted people that were there, kind of really opened our eyes. Especially it opened your eyes afterwards, right?
Yeah, I couldn't stop thinking about it. You know, it's so many people came up to me and said, you know, thank you. You know, even a girl with cystic fibrosis came up to me and we talked for about 45 minutes. And something you guys don't know is I can't be 6 feet in distance, you know, with someone with cystic fibrosis in case I catch, you know, something she has, or she catches something I have, because we have weak immune systems. But, you know, I didn't even care, because I was like talking to her and everything I was saying was going, you know, straight to her head. She was like, well, you know, I'm going to do my treatments. You know, she told her parents, I'm going to do my treatments. You know, I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start eating more. And like everything I kept telling her, you know, I was talking to her for a good, I'd say 45 minutes.
Yeah, I remember.
And she was like, you know, thank you. And actually, I keep in contact with her off Instagram nowadays. And she's looking like she had
She's
like a
sliding in your DMs,
yeah,
Jordan.
who else, Jordan Medeiros on Instagram.
We'll plug we'll plug your accounts.
She's looking, she's looking like she's doing her treatment. She's looking healthy because she even told me, like my lung function is like 38 or 42%, which is absolutely terrible.
Which is less than half, less than one.
Yeah, like, you guys have 100% for both lungs. So 42%, to be breathing, that's basically just walking up a flight of stairs and being out of breath, drained of energy. And, I've been there once. And I told myself, I'm never going there again because it was so hard for me to breathe, so hard for me to do anything during the day, So,
what was the lowest lung capacity that you ever hit in your life?
So when I hit,
or do you remember?
Yeah, when I hit 18 years old.
Yeah. Damn, that's not long. Okay.
Yeah. So when I hit 18 years old, 18, let's go party, let's go drink, let's try out some funky shit. And I did. And, I don't regret anything I did in my life because I lived, and that's what I wanted to do.
Learning.
That's exactly what I wanted to do, So I went in my 18 years of living with 97% lung capacity, which was the highest I've ever been.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and 18 and a half, I'd say about 6 months later, went down to like 53, because I was living. I wasn't doing my treatments.
Not taking care of yourself as much.
Going out, getting up at 3 in the afternoon, eating a bit, going out again, just partying and partying and partying. And, I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. That's one thing I'm proud of. I've never touched a cigarette in my life. But, other things I have touched, and, it's to live. I wanted to try it. I did it. I tried it. And now, I'm 24, lung capacity of about 75%,
Wow.
So I keep it steady. When it goes down, I force myself to bring it back up, which is something I should be doing every day. But unfortunately, it's not stuck in my mind yet to push and push and push every day.
And to get it back up and everything is, obviously to stay active, to eat a lot and good at the same time. Your
treatments is the one I had the most troubles with.
Really?
Because like all you're doing is you're sitting in front of a TV and just, and it's long and boring. And, my friend will text me, hey, let's go for supper. And I'll be like, fuck, I got to do my treatment, give me like 25 minutes. I'll be there. So I do it and then I go. Or, I come back at 11 at night and tired. I want to go to bed. I got to do my treatment. I'm going to go to bed. Yeah. So, you got to push yourself to do it every day, which is, it's hard, but I do it. Especially now I'm sick too. So right now I got caught like a cold or something, classic winter cold. I got to do my treatments every day or else the next morning I'll wake up and I'll be
like, drained and
I'll just be
stuffed.
Full, stuffed. That's the word I was looking for.
I got you.
I got you. Yeah. So that's about it.
Okay. So we presented that video, the foundation supper. He was able to meet someone else with Cystic. I think there was a couple there also, but especially her because she was affiliated kind of with the foundation more. So we presented that video, all went well, and then I remember you messaging me. We messaged each other, and you have a goal and more of a vision to. We did that video in French first and foremost, and then we want to do one in English. But then he came up with the idea to, if we're gonna do it in English, which is our first language, we want to make it really good. He wants to. He had the idea. He came up to me. He was like, "Hey, we should do this, but let's film like a documentary, something that's like 45, like an hour long, or whatever the time frame is around that time, and let's film a documentary." I'll let you explain it, but it's all going around the world, visiting people, and
so basically this is a even bigger project that I have. So there's one. It's just basically the English version of our video we've done for the supper, about 7.5 to 8 minutes long, where I talk about my disease, cystic.
See, but now that you do cough, like you do cough, like that's not because you're cold, right? That's.
I mean, it doesn't help.
It doesn't help, yeah.
But no, I cough about like this every day.
Yeah.
Because of cystic. When I laugh a lot, I cough, which is terrible. It sucks.
Because you laugh a lot.
Yeah,
because I'm
laugh a lot.
funny.
No, because I'm actually
You
a
laugh at your own
comedian.
jokes?
I'm actually a comedian. You know, so,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's true. He's written comedian on his Instagram. You can
yeah,
check that out.
check it out, comedian. So basically, yeah. So do film a little 7-8 minute video.
That was the first
Yeah, the first, yeah.
intention to
So
make the English
describing
video.
what cystic is, releasing that and releasing like a GoFundMe link to it, to raise money for cystic fibrosis research. So that's like the first project we'll be working on. And the second one is more of a documentary type film where I'd like to travel the world. Example, the United States, Europe, Asia, parts in the world people haven't seen, or, basically meet people with cystic fibrosis and see what the treatments or the medication is like in other parts of the world, because United States, they don't have healthcare like we do here.
Right.
And cystic fibrosis medication here is expensive, so I couldn't imagine how much they're paying for it, in the States or in Europe or,
Anywhere else around the world.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to meet, people who've had lung transplants, because when you reach a certain age, for like 30 years old, usually it's 30, 32 years old, your lungs start completely shutting down and you need a lung transplant, to continue living, or else you don't live, you just die, So I'd like to meet people who've gotten lung transplants, see what it's like, people who maybe are going into a lung transplant, to see what they have to do before the transplant itself, to help also raise awareness on signing your Medicare card, saying like, I am a lung donor, because
organ donor.
Organ donor is the word I was looking for. But yeah, to basically be an organ donor.
There we go.
Because it's very important, you're with your organs, you could save like 5 people, and
yeah,
especially, you're dead. So why not save 5 people with the organs that are living in your body? So it's pretty important to sign, especially those papers, yeah,
documents.
You never know what can happen and who you're going to save. I've seen like touching stories where basically the kids who've been saved from lung transplants or heart transplants, stuff like that, have met the parents of the person who's giving them the lungs or the heart, which is crazy to see. And I'd like to incorporate like basically that whole scenario into one, to show like it's very important to sign the organ donor card, and yeah, so I have a pretty big plans for the future to.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. I'm happy to be a part of that. And we even told each other, if we're gonna do that like documentary, let's make it like really sick.
Yeah.
And the most important goal behind it is obviously to have fun with it, but at the same time to just raise awareness, because even when I met you, even like after 5 years, I still didn't even know what cystic fibrosis was. So I know for a fact that there's a lot of people around the world that don't know at all what it is. And there's a lot of people affected by it. What is it, like 1 out of 3 or?
No, it's I'd say about, it's not that much, but like there's at least 45 to 50,000 people living with it in Quebec. And in Canada, probably like 150,000, and it's crazy because it's a deadly disease, basically, like I follow pages on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. And I see, like I saw a young kid from England who's 18 years old, passed away, I'd have to say a day before Christmas,
Wow.
And his sister had written a message on his Twitter saying, like, I fought, but my lungs took me over, and here I am laying in my bed dead. And like things like that, when I read that, it just boggles my mind. It's 18 years old, a day before Christmas, he's with his family and he passes away. Stuff like that just hits hard, and it's crazy to see kids around the world just dying of a disease that
it's uncurable. Some people don't even know about it.
Some people don't know about it. Most people don't know about it. That's why it's important to raise awareness, around
it. You said in the beginning, like how having the people around you and everything is very important. How important still to this day, I know they are, how important is like your family, or just like, to not necessarily family, but for you, your family, or just for anyone, how important important is it to have like a support group, a team, just people that you're able to fall back on, or just be around you to, I don't know, lift your spirits or whatnot? How important is that, and how has it been for you, all your life, or
So
whatever?
basically, my parents have been pushing me for 24 years now, and I could, if I have people to thank, it's them and my sister too.
Mm.
They've been just pushing and pushing and pushing. Do your treatments, take your medication, do your treatments. I'm in bed at 10:30 at night sleeping. They can come wake me up. You didn't do your treatment. Go do your treatment. I'm like,
Wow.
fine, gotta do it. You're right. So I get up, do it, but they're just constantly pushing and pushing, because it takes a toll on them too. Like, it does hit hard at home for them too, because
For
I
sure.
am their youngest son, and to see me suffer, and even my friends around me, sometimes they'll see me suffer and they'll be like, damn, like, wake up, do your fucking treatments.
You could say.
Yeah, I know. I just,
Yeah.
Gotta, but yeah. So and then like, even you in Thailand, every day, did you take your pills? Did you do your treatments? Yeah. Which, and I need that support, because it's hard. There's so much to do, that sometimes I'll forget, and it's not because I don't want to do it. I'll just forget.
And it's time consuming too at the same time, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, like just your treatments, your pills, like all that is time consuming. So it takes up in your day.
Yeah,
And
but
like
it's
you
got to
said,
be, it's got to be part
priority.
of my life, and I got to realize that one day that I got to do it. I have to. And even like I said, in Thailand, every day, do your treatments, take your pills. That helped me. My friend Kevin also, every time I'm with him, we're eating supper or something. Did you take your enzymes? Did you take your enzymes? And then I'll start laughing and be like, I'm not joking. Did you take your enzymes? And to have that constant support around me is heartwarming. It's amazing. I've realized I have great friends. I have great family. Everyone's there to support me. Everyone's there to support each other. And that's amazing. I love it. I would never change any of my friends or any of my family for the world.
That's awesome. That's so awesome to hear, because it's so important to have just a support group or a team, or like good friends. A good circle around you is always a key to just uplift you, help you with projects. Like all these, like sometimes I see these people, like especially like business wise, they're all like I can't remember the term, but they're all like, me, or it's like
very
I did it
self-centered.
myself,
Yeah.
or
Very self-centered. Like most businessmen are very self-centered, saying like, I did this. It's very important to have a team around you.
Yeah, and I don't think like those, like you're able to get to that, I don't know, level without a team, like, or without help, or without assistance, like the whole,
like a musician, you'll never reach a certain level without the fans. So there's things like that people have to realize, that you need the people around you in order to succeed, and you need good people around you, people with good intentions, people who want good for you. And it's you have to find a lot. I see a lot of people, especially even our age, they're very backstabbers, and they're friends of their friends, and they'll be like, oh, this girl's a bitch, or this girl's dumb. You guys are friends though. Like on Instagram, you guys will post a story together. What are you doing? Or even guys, this guy's a dick, and this guy's an asshole, or this guy's a loser. But you guys are friends. What kind of friends are you? I'll never say anything negative about my friends. Just like I know my friends will never say anything negative about me. And that's what you gotta surround yourself with good people,
right?
As good as you are, you gotta be good in order to get good.
Yeah. Give
what you want.
Give what you want. So speaking about music, actually, you love music. I know that.
Absolutely love music.
The whole like DJs and everything.
Everything.
And I know I actually didn't like think of this even before recording, or I didn't list this down or anything. But now that you mentioned like musician, it kind of clicked in my head that music, just like EDM or just music in general, not necessarily just EDM, but just music. I know that alone is an outlet, or it's a thing to really bring you a positive perspective on things, and it's a tool that I know really helps, in your situation, and also does with a lot of people too, especially myself. how has music had like an effect on
Oh,
you?
I don't remember one day in my whole entire life where I haven't listened to at least an hour of music, you know. Uh, it's there's so much behind what some artists are trying to say, you know, that helped me. Or like, you know, basically the I Lived song by One Republic
Yep.
was made with a cystic fibrosis patient. When I saw that video, or when I saw the song and heard the song and just listened to it, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh my God. When you showed me that video,
Yeah, it's
it gets to you.
it's
It really
crazy.
gets you like
Yeah.
emotional. It gets you. It's
And it's amazing what some artists will do to help, you know, like that kid, you know, to help him with one of his dreams, which is probably raise awareness for cystic fibrosis, you know, which is incredible. And I'd say about 2 years ago, I had a really rough time with life in general. You know, I was really working like a shitty warehouse job. I didn't like it. I woke up in the morning. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing with my life? You know, this is so boring.
traffic too.
Traffic. This sucks." You know, and every day I would listen to Post Malone's Stoney album on repeat, and no word of a lie. Every day, at least 3, 4 times a day, I would listen to the whole album, you know,
Huh.
because every song just got to me. And you know what he says behind his lyrics. Yeah, some lyrics obviously it's not as deep as others, but some you listen to and you're like, damn, you know,
Really.
I want to grow. I want to be better than what I am right now. Let's do it, you know. And even some of Steve Angelo's music. Steve Angelo is my favorite artist of all time. By the way, you need to come back to Montreal, buddy, because this summer you didn't come to Il Sonic, and I'm still pissed about that. But
I was about to ask you about that.
oh man, yeah. So you know, Steve Angelo is my favorite artist of all time, and just every single one of his songs is just amazing, incredible. You know, especially his newest albums too. There's just so much meaning behind every single song, you know, and I think that's what's important with music, is to hit hard at home, you know, with some of your fans, to basically make music that people will listen to and be like, damn, you know, reflect on it, something that gives you time to reflect on. And you know, one of my also goals in life is to be in the music industry related to something, you know, not necessarily a singer because I can't sing for shit, you know, not necessarily a rapper because I don't think I can rhyme for shit either, you know, but you know, be
Something in that domain.
something in the domain of music, you know, like right now I'm a logistics supervisor, so I'm taking care of everything that's transport, you know, receiving, shipping and whatnot, you know, so maybe be on an artist's tour where he needs, you know, certain transport,
equipment.
stage equipment. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's a lot of logistics behind that. And I have, you know,
A good background.
exactly, or even like Eventco or like Live Nation or whatnot, you know, work for one of them to get, you know, the artist's stage material over. And
And
that's,
it's sorry, it's
Yeah.
cool because it's not like in a way random the music
Yeah.
scene, because it has a positive effect on your life. Because I know without music, if music didn't exist,
forget it.
forget it.
I wouldn't
exactly.
exist.
Exactly, it wouldn't be the same.
Music is honestly, my life is music. I can't go a day without listening to a second of music. You know, like I said, honestly, no joke, an hour of music a day minimum for me, minimum. And even like at the gym, not my phone is broken now, so I can't listen to music. I got to listen to the, you know, shitty music they put. So that's why, you know, and it's tough for me to say like, oh, let's go to the gym today because I don't have my headphones. And you know how hard it is to listen to the music at the gym. Sometimes you're like, damn, you know, what are you guys thinking by putting this music? Why, you know?
Yeah.
I love to listen to Linkin Park or something, you know, something that pushes me. R.I.P. Chester, by the way. Something that pushes me, you know, to be the best of myself, to just keep pushing and pushing, especially at the gym. I need my headphones at the gym, you know?
100%.
So-
It gets you in the zone.
Oh,
And it's crazy because you have such a, you like a, you know, from EDM to Linkin Park
yeah.
to
don't make me listen to country. I won't listen to country. But honestly, anything else, I'll listen to, you know, Dr. Dre's Chronic 2001. And then the second after, I'll listen to Khalid, you know, or I'll listen to Post Malone. And then I'll go to, you know, Steve Angelo. And I'll go to Lincoln Park, maybe some Slipknot, everything
amazing.
except country. Even jazz. I'll listen to jazz like when I do my 45-minute sessions in the bathroom.
In the shower,
I just sit in the shower and listen. I'll put some jazz on because, jazz gets that the mind going and flowing.
It gets you in the zone.
Get the neurons running, So
the neurons.
Protons, neurons, science.
Okay, so this question that I have is kind of deep, but I think that it could really benefit a lot of people, 100%. So say you're, whatever age, and it's your last day, that's all done with, and you had the opportunity to kind of be able to talk to everyone, the whole world that's below you, and you're looking at everybody and everybody's looking at you. If you were to pick one word, just one word, I'll give you an example just so you could have time to think also. If you were to pick one word, what would that word be? Now, for example, on me, if I was in your shoes, all that happens and I get to pick one word, I would choose I'm possible. Just to give you an example. So example, work, or if you were to pick one word with a lot of power and that could deliver a huge message to people just to take for their journeys, what would that one word be?
Probably live.
Live
or conquer.
Love it.
Because live your fucking life, conquer it. Do everything you want to do. I'm possible. You can do whatever you want to do. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. Just put your mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important. Put your mind to it. You can do whatever you want, Work on whatever you want. Give yourself goals, because if you don't live your life without goals, your life fucking sucks.
It does, yeah.
Live, travel. If you don't like traveling, do something you love. I love traveling. That's what I work for. Every day I work overtime just to travel, I have plans for the future to travel. I just want to travel for like 6 months straight if I have to. I just want to travel, Live your life. Conquer your life. Conquer your dreams,
That's amazing. Live and conquer.
Or conquer.
Or conquer. Ha. I love it. If you were to able to meet anybody in the world, living or dead, who would you want to meet if you didn't meet them already?
Honestly, probably Steve Angelo.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's had such a positive, outlook on my life. He's got me out of deep holes. Just his music, not him himself, but his music. It's gotten me out of shitty situations. Shitty. I've had bad days. Never really, really low days, but I've had bad days where I'm just like, damn, I'm depressed. What is this? And I put some of his music on. I'm like, damn, okay, life's good. Life's good, But yeah, definitely Steve Angelo, or even like Post Malone, for example, because if you watch like interviews with Post Malone, he's such a jolly guy. He's such a good guy, such a warm-hearted guy. Everything he says he's so nice. That's definitely two people that have affected my life positively with their music. And like I said, music is my life. Yeah.
And music is your life, yeah. Yeah, wow. What a talk so far. It's just crazy. It gets to me, this type of stuff. I'm anxious to see what life has in store for you, all the projects we're going to be working on, the things we're going to be doing, the traveling, and just being able to look back on everything that we're going to be able just to create together. I think that's just going to be so fun. And I had to have you as episode 1.
Because I'm big.
Because you're big. Jordan Big Medeiros. I had to have you on as episode 1 just because, obviously.
Because I'm number 1.
Well, that's why, guys. But no, I had to have you on it was super important for me to, at least get a little talk in, spread the word out about cystic fibrosis, your story. And the reason why I came up with this idea of the podcast is to share stories of people, go in depth of, with their stories, what they lived, what they're living, how they were able to conquer, real times of adversity. And I think you did. And just me being like kind of bullied and pressured, I can't imagine like your situation. So like, total hats off to you. And it's good that you have, a family that you're able to have around you, because some people friends or just
everyone in general.
And just that you're able to recognize that also, that's huge, because a lot of people, obviously probably take that for granted, take advantage. So yeah, I'm super happy that you came on. I hope this whole message gets across to people. Sign those documents, spread the word out. And if you either see or hear people in terms of, the whole bullying aspect, especially like in school, sports, take action, intervene, and it's that alone is going to make a huge difference and could save lives, because not everybody is strong enough inside and doesn't always have a support group either to, continue moving forward in the positive direction. So
spread positivity, spread it.
And it's crazy, because I was just talking about that before when we weren't recording. I never seen you down. Like, I know you mentioned down, but whenever I'm with you or around you, I said this to everyone, everybody that I talk to you about, that I talk to them about you. You never seem to be negative, down, and I always say that. I'm like, it's crazy, because I get down days, I get like in depressed mode, there's a lot of stuff happening, so much anxiety inside of me. And whenever I'm around you, I've been with you, on a trip for so long, you never seem to be down, and always have like, it's not necessarily like a positive energy, but it's just like, I don't know, it's as if you're never stressed. I don't. I sometimes, I know you.
What is there to stress about, though?
But see, like,
what is there to stress about?
You're right.
Nothing. If I'm not stressed, why are you stressed?
There's a lot of factors. It's, you have like time, work, and everything. But
but time isn't worth you stressing over for. If it's meant to be, it'll be.
It'll be.
Yeah, and we've said this every single time we're together. Everything is meant to happen. Everything that's happened up to now in your life was meant to happen. There will be bumpy roads, but you'll get through it.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to like kind of highlight that whole, just all of that. It's good to be around you. It just lifts up everyone. I know all of your friends, our friends, just that all of those people and all of our, both our families, I know we feel all the same way when we're around you and everything. So I just wanted to highlight on that, because it takes a lot of like inner strength to be able to do that and to have that. So I think it's just super important, and I had to, kind of highlight that, because I always mention that, I always talk about it, and it motivates me alone, and it inspires me.
That's my point. That's what I want.
And it works.
Yeah.
So I really hope for the people watching, listening, I hope that this interview with Jordan really brought you a lot of value, motivation, inspiration, and kind of gives you a different outlook and perspective on life, because it's so precious. And like he said, live or conquer, whichever one you choose. Continue doing that. Live by those words each day. Your day is going to be so much better. And give, and you'll receive 10 times as much, in a nice way. So it was awesome to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
I know we'll have you back on, sometime. Maybe somewhere around the world we'll do a podcast together. But it was I'm super grateful that you took the time, that you were willing to share your story also. and to spread awareness. So that was the goal. I hope it brought you guys lots of value. And that was episode 1. So I'll see you in the next episode. See ya.
Ciao.